And we'll just open up with the invocation. So, invocation is just like a bringing our attention to the divine that's all around us and inviting those um, forces that are often invisible to the eye to be present with us and help us settle into that spiritual reality that we're all living in this physical reality at the same time. So you can close your eyes or you can leave them open, whatever feels best for you. And you can also, if you feel inspired inside yourself, add your own um, prayer or invocation for today. So just opening up and allowing ourselves to start to breathe through our heart center. Just noticing our breath for a second, welcoming ourselves here. And opening to the heart space, that place that is a place where heaven and earth meet. It is the energy center in our bodies for affinity for ourselves and others, and also for where our higher chakras, if we're looking at them vertically, and our closer to the earth chakras meet. And it's a place where dualities come together, where they cease to exist and we start to exist in the oneness. So just inviting that in, that sense of coming together in our hearts, coming together beyond duality, coming together beyond polarity. And that your heart space has the power to do this for you every day. So just welcoming in the connection to that greater universal heart that's connected to our hearts. Inviting your heart to sync up with the universal heart. We don't have to know what that is. We can let go of ideas about it and just invite it to arise in our experience. And today, where light and dark meet, we are inviting that cosmic awareness to illuminate all the places that are hidden within in a manageable way for this moment, to unfold over time in the right timing. And just noticing your eyes, if they're closed or open, keeping them wherever they are. And just contemplating for a moment, who is the witness? Who is the one that's seeing right now? And looking even beyond that. almost like you're looking backward to the origin of vision, to the origin of sight, to the origin of your inner sight. No thinking about it, just inviting revelation to arise. And welcoming our bodies here once more, and acknowledging the earth beneath us and that we have support of the earth to live our daily lives and to support our hearts to move in the world. And noticing the breath again, and allowing your eyes to come open if you feel to, or you can keep them closed, whatever feels good to you. It can be nice to listen with our eyes closed. It can be nice to listen with our eyes open, whatever works. You might hear the bird sounds around. I'm outside, and it's quite beautiful. And there's even light and shadow on my face, so we can see that the the arising of this topic today coming into fruition, of where light and dark meet. We get these beautiful intersections of shadow. So that question that we started to ask ourselves is a really great contemplation. If you're in meditation or at any time, it's like, who is the one, especially if you're doing inner work meaning looking at our own patterns, our own habits, because a lot of times we might look from a lens of a part of ourselves that is critical. Or we might look from the lens of a part of ourselves that is hurt. And so we might be looking at a such situation through a filter instead of looking at it from a pure witnessing state, or a pure conscious state, or a pure awareness state. And you know what that is. The Buddhists often call it like clear light awareness, or it's just, there is no judgment in that place. It's just pure awareness. So if you sit in meditation and you get to that place where maybe the thoughts have stilled, or you make it a thought contemplation of who is the one that's seeing right now? Who is the one that is looking at whatever is being viewed, right? And the place that we want to get to is the one that is the neutral witness. The neutral witness that doesn't have judgment about what's arising, because then we're not trying to resist or further whatever is arising. We're just able to look at it. And through our looking, it often transforms itself back to its original nature, or starts that journey back to your original nature. It's a profound meditation. So I invite anyone who feels called to really sit with that contemplation. And so it's a beautiful place that's where all of our growth really happens, spiritually, psychologically, is at this place where light and dark meet. And what I mean by that is both that light and dark as metaphors, and light and dark as the day and the night, right? Or the light of our consciousness, and also the places where we're in the dark about something, where the light of our consciousness, we haven't seen it yet. We haven't come to awareness to know ourselves even more fully, or to know these things that are rising. Because the contemplation earlier about who is the one looking, where is the awareness, what is it, what is it actually? Can I start to feel it in my own body? Can I start to know it? That is an identification. Identifying yourself with the witness is part of the process, instead of, I am this event that happened to me, I'm the trauma, I am this emotion that's arising, I am this experience that I had, I do this in the world, and this is who I am. You aren't any of those things. You're just existence, existing in this body, this lifetime, in order to have an experience of life, of the physical world, right? And there's many purposes we come to do that, but one of the filters I like is just that we're all here as part of creation. We're all here creating as creation, because creation's motivation is creation, to keep creating. And the one that created us, we have that same urge to create, right? The only issue is that we forgot that we are creating with the fullness and the oneness of the universe. We start to create from lack, or we start to create from feeling we don't have something and that we need to create it when it's already present within us. Or we create from fear. And a lot of the things that we come to undo, why we come and sit here, right, in a space where we meditate or we have an experience, we're looking to become conscious of our creational powers and we're looking to sit with knowing ourselves more deeply and knowing the universe more deeply. And it just, sadly, Western culture has lost a lot of its traditions that held ways to know the universe more deeply. So we're bringing them back. Congratulations, you're all a part of that, bringing them back by just being here, by just going on your paths, searching and practicing. So light and dark as metaphors. Light, when we speak about being light, it means a few different things. People who have had near-death experiences, they often report seeing beings of light. They see the light of God. They experience themselves as light. And that's because this entire universe is made of particles of light, or waves of light, right? And when they did that experiment in a quantum physics experiment, what is light? Is it a particle? Is it a wave? This famous experiment was done, and it depended on who was looking at the experiment. The person who was looking for a wave saw a wave. The person who's looking for a particle saw a particle. So this is just like proof that perception, that question of who is looking, what are you looking for? Do you have already an expectation of what you're going to see? Because that's what you're going to see. You're going to see that thing that's already in the filter that you're looking through. And so you have to become aware of the filter. What am I looking through right now? Like, I'll give you a good example. The other day, something arose, and I immediately wanted to contact someone else and be like, see, look what happened, because the relationship I had with this person, I was wanting to prevent something from happening, and they were not able to kind of get on the same frequency as me, the same understanding as me. And I wanted to write them in anger. I wanted to say, like, I was right about this. I'm like feeling righteous, and I kind of want you to admit that I'm, right about this. And also I want you to, um, I'm going to admit this. It feels so, so I'm being very vulnerable right now. I want you to kind of feel bad that you didn't, like, you could have prevented this. And none of those are good motivations in my discernment. My check box is of discernment. And so I was like, okay, I'm not going to write this right now, because I'm coming from lenses that are not in integrity with my deeper self. A, I don't want to write this in anger. B, I forgive this person, and I forgive this situation, or what I went to, right? And forgiveness, in a way, for me, forgiveness is a coming back into innocence. Our original innocence is um acknowledging that we are all innocent in our own ways, and we're all coming from those filters, right? And it's up to us, and everyone's on their different path of becoming aware of that. And when I come back and sit back into myself, and I can acknowledge that, I'm not pushing any energy outward towards anyone else. I'm not saying you should be a different way. I'm coming back to that awareness, that place of awareness that allows the witnessing to arise, which is what I want to create in creation. So I am creating through my actions what I want to arise in the rest of creation. My ultimate goal with that person, right? I want them to awaken to those filters. And so I need to put out the energy of awakening to my own filters, so that vibration is what is being created in the world, and that will be mirrored back to me, and that gives other people the ability to align with that or not align with it. But I am in the integrity of aligning with it, and I'm creating more of it by being it. So there you go. I feel like that was a good synopsis of the spiritual path in like a couple minutes. Oh man. Oh goodness. So the dark as a metaphor are those places in us that are stuck, that are in a certain filter that we want to become aware of, right? We're in a room, we haven't turned on the light yet. It's dark at night, and there's a bunch of stuff in the room, a lot of hidden stuff we haven't even seen. And a lot of us are stumbling around in the dark, like, where is everything? I don't know. And these are all parts of our own consciousness, our own parts of like the little box of anger from this place in our childhood where, something happened, someone crossed a boundary, and we really felt hurt, and we weren't able to be seen. And we need to turn on the light to be like, oh my goodness, I see that thing. And then, right, there's different parts of ourselves we've gathered on the journey already to get to that place, hopefully, of our own compassion, our own, self mother that says, oh, I see you, that was really painful, or just that and just that witnessing state of like being with it completely, and then being with the body completely, because the body then has to have its own response to that hurt, because that box is somewhere usually inside the body as well, that has to unravel and be witnessed and held to be able for it to completely release its energetic coil, let's say. That's what a lot of these experiences, they become coiled into these places in the body. They become, if you view the body as an energetic container in which things are flowing all the time, and that's the point. The natural state is for complete flow to be arising through all your energy lines, through all your energy centers. Everything is a flow of experiences flowing in and out, just like exhaling in and out. You have the full capacity of your lungs to exhale in and out. It's the same like for your energy system, and all these places where we have stuck emotions or stuck belief systems or things that don't align with the original nature of the universe, that is meant to flow, that we have stored because we weren't able to be present with it at the time. We didn't have the capacity to be present with it at the time. And, or it was a lot of times we felt for our survival, we had to hide those things. And so there's a lot of boxes to look into and release and allow that releasing to arise so that there is a fluid flow within ourselves. And just like I was saying, we are creating our reality externally by being that internally. It's like our world and the environmental mess we're in. So in my perspective, the more work we do to clear our own bodies, the more we help as well the earth, the more we help the rest of humanity, because we become a beacon for that, and we also create that energy in the world, and it transforms the world. So your inner work is just as important as being an activist or doing any external actions as well. They are paired and they do go together in my experience, and because we need to take physical actions as well that are in aligned with our integrity and in aligned with our deeper knowings. And that inner work is its own activation. And all the saints and so many spiritual masters have said the same thing, right? Gandhi is like, be the change. You got to be it inside yourself, and then that comes out. Like, he was a walking master, and he was a yogic master himself that practiced peace internally and then used that in a way to bring India back under its own control, where it was in control of the British. So he's a great example of where inner work and this thing about light and dark meet, right? He was a nonviolent leader. And so he was able to allow that to translate into movement in the world too. So thank you for listening and contemplating and letting that sink in for wherever you are in your journey. And we're going to go into a Holy Fire Reiki experience in just a second, where we look at an issue, and then we allow the energy of Holy Fire Reiki, which is a light infusion, is an energy infusion of light, where we are inviting it in a very effortless way to undo what I was talking about, those places of stagnation or those places where something is stuck. And in a way, there's an offering up of that, because when we offer it back up to the original nature of the universe already knows its original nature. And when you say, like, thank you, universe, please help me do this, it already starts to unravel it. And there's often the response from us is one of surrender. Please take this and allow it to unravel itself, right? And then we keep surrendering into that. And so part of this experience is looking at the issue, but then just surrendering it to the light of that consciousness, the light of the divine consciousness that can unravel it for us as well. Our own inner consciousness can do that, but we get amplified. It amplifies it, and it creates an effortlessness that comes back into the original nature. So we're going to do that. Not today, but in other classes I teach, I also teach a meditation in my private mentorship and in intuitive development training, where we develop the witness inside of our own bodies. And it takes a number of weeks, but we sit in a certain practice and we practice it, and it develops the witness over time, so that you have that neutral filter inside the body, which is very important to have it linked to your body. Mm. And in the Holy Fire Practitioner training, which is coming up soon, we will learn